Welcome to the Solution Podcast. We are back with a reaction of Andrew Tate being interviewed by the BBC.
Being bullied.
Attempted bully.
Attempted bully. She tried though.
Or I could rephrase that by Andrew Tate making a fool of the BBC.
First Elon Musk, now Andrew Tate.
I mean,
made a fool out of the BBC.
To be honest with you, I mean,
the Elon
they're
Musk.
a joke. They're a joke. You watch the BBC News. I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't even watch it, bro.
Same. Traditional journalism is dying, if not dead.
It's a religion, bro. It's a religion. They have a narrative to paint, and they are pushing that narrative. They change every story to fit into their narrative, into the their agenda.
Yeah, bias.
So it's a religion. They obviously when you have that agenda and you have a narrative, then that means you're trying to push a certain belief, a certain view onto people, and that's what they do. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And they have their own tax system as well. The whole TV license thing, which which like you have to pay the TV license if you have a TV.
Yeah.
And even if you're not watching their channel.
I don't know how that was legalized. It made no sense.
I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? They're part of the institution of this country. They're inbuilt, deeply ingrained. So it is. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, can I quickly say something about the whole journalism industry? I feel like the new journalists need to be experts in their field. They need to, instead of, because journalism before was about, I don't know if I should say this now, but journalism before was just one way. The journalists come, interview you, they go away, and you don't get to fire back. You don't get to ask questions about the journalist because they go away and write what they want. They don't tell the whole truth. But what Andrew Tate did was just asked to expose the journalists for their lack of expertise. So they need to be experts and be able to fire back and know or be ready to be asked questions by the person they're interviewing to show they're knowledgeable in what they're talking about. Because it seems like anyone just picking up the mic and coming along and trying to get an interview and going away and saying what they want to say without having any expertise, without having any knowledge. And I believe this has been happening for years, man. This has been happening for years.
Yeah, let's get into the reaction. Right.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that, but it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin. Let's start at the beginning. I'm facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one, has already been thrown out by a judge because there's no evidence of it. Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way. I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
What did he say? What did he say? She said emotional manipulation. How do you prove emotional manipulation? She said that you're being the charge that he's facing apparently has to do with emotional manipulation. So he's emotionally manipulated women to, work for his webcam, whatever business that he used to have, and So he would emotionally manipulate them, and then they'll come in and work for him, and then he will make money off of them, right?
Yeah.
How do you establish emotional manipulation? How do you do that?
You can't. It's
How is that provable? If that's not another way of saying believe all women. Remember, we're still going to do that topic, right? Believe women.
Yeah.
You know that.
Me too.
That movement that came after Me Too.
Yeah.
The believe women. Yeah, believe all women.
Yeah.
Now, how can you? If that's not another way of saying that, how do you determine emotional? How do you prove that? How can you objectively prove something like emotional manipulation?
Yeah.
Because she can just say she's been emotionally manipulated. Are you just going to go by what she says? He made me feel like this. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
He made me feel like this. He made me feel like this. So therefore, I emotionally manipulated this person.
Yeah, I swear people.
Crazy.
I swear there's laws for that, like mental abuse and all that kind of stuff. Like that could go under.
No, I'm asking, how would you prove that?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I know there's a thing.
The only way you can prove something like that is if that person says they've been emotionally manipulated.
Yeah.
So, which means you'd have to go by what that person says. And that person, for all we know, could be lying because they have a vendetta against you. They are angry with you for some reason. They for whatever reason, they want to see you go down or whatever. Yeah. So they could just say it.
This is the genius of feminism. It's the genius of it. It's you just make something up, and all these kind of things that you can't prove, but you just make up and people believe. This whole Me Too thing.
Yeah.
All it does, it enables false allegations to take place.
That's it, yeah.
Because they're just making stuff up now.
Yeah.
They're just making stuff up.
That's what I worry, man.
To do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct, there are no charges.
Has said that
there are no
more
charges,
evidence
and I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can, while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now that the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting. It's actually extremely interesting, because if I was a matrix-controlled organization and my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name, you're telling me that they've chosen a crime which, 1, is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, or we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish this?
You're not answering the question I've asked you. You're not answering the question I've asked you.
I am answering the question.
Let me read you the testimony of one of the witnesses.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
Treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says...
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of...
Yeah.
She's trying to paint a narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. From the jump.
She's not actually giving real... she's not sticking to the case files. She is adding things to it and trying to portray him in a certain way.
Yeah.
She's trying to
manipulate.
It's like she's saying things that are incorrect on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter how many times she's been corrected, she doesn't care about that.
Yeah, she's on a mission.
Still doing it. Like, why is she still talking about the case? She's already been told like 3 or 4 times by people there.
But even she's even wrong in what she's talking about.
Yeah.
The assertions that she's making is wrong. It's not like it's valid. It's wrong. She's saying that there's still people saying this thing. And he just said, look, the 2 women that accused me, they've already proven to be liars. So what are these women? She said something that really rubbed me off the wrong way. She said something about they don't know they're victims. She said it's very usual in these cases that they're not even aware. They're not even aware that they're victims.
Yeah.
It's almost as if to say that when they realize that they're victims, then they'll come back and press charges.
Yeah.
So it's normal for them not to feel like victims right now, but they could later come back and be and portray this. I thought that was sickening. Yeah. That was sickening. Even though there's no women coming forward to say, apart from those 2, saying that he mistreated them or he did whatever. She's trying to imply that these women could potentially still come back and feel like victims again later on. That is scary.
Yeah. And again, she's not there to be neutral or like try to get to the truth. She's not like us. We're just trying to get to the truth and we're just we're like following the leads and trying to get to the ultimate source. She's there with an agenda and just trying to reinforce her narrative and get him to validate her narrative. That's all she's there for. She's not there.
I think she's trying to frustrate him.
Yeah,
she's trying to frustrate him. She's trying to catch him out. She's trying to make him lose his temper so they can put it on BBC headline.
Yeah,
he Tate's an animal, but really, like,
Tate loses his cool.
Yeah, Tate loses his cool.
And she'll probably do some fake tears, like to just. She's ready to give.
But that's a modern women tactic. You see how they know how to press your buttons. They know how to frustrate you. So while you're talking, they'll talk at the same time.
Yeah,
and they're very much in control. They know what they're doing. They know that will get to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's very frustrating when someone's talking and the other person doesn't let them actually talk.
Yeah,
modern women understand that because I've seen it in podcast after podcast after podcast. They're very good at knowing how to frustrate the other person and then making them look like the aggressor. Do you see what I'm saying? While they themselves look like the innocent ones.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Cutting people off at the perfect time. Of a valid point is being made and changing subjects.
All changing subjects. All of that.
Of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated, and I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I am beholden to the Romanian legal system, and I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what you said.
No, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it. And again, once again.
One sec. She's got the resources of the BBC.
Yeah.
If she's gonna make a statement like that, she needs to. Why don't she supply receipts? Like, where's the video, or where she got this quote from?
Quote from. Yeah.
Like, she needs to state her sources now. Like, what website was it? What blog was it? What video was it? Was it a written article? She needs to be. If she's gonna say something like that and be a matter of fact, she needs to state her sources, which she didn't.
She could just play the video to him and say, "Look, you
said it from your own mouth." Yeah, exactly. She didn't do it.
I know what you mean, and that's what kind of makes it easy for Tate.
Yeah,
in this one,
because he just denied it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. Yeah. Show me the evidence.
Any female on the planet has a problem with me. I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations
that's
since my
shocking,
arrest.
that's
0.
shocking.
If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, he'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you're trying to contact every ex-girlfriend he's ever had.
Would come forward and accuse those people of rape and accuse those people
I think that you would have a lot
manipulation.
more. I think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come
has
at
spoken
me.
to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things. That with you, it's all manipulation. There's an ulterior.
Is this
motive
Sophie?
to everything.
Is this
you've done.
Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie. The fake name, no face,
I was so
the story
intent
that
on
was
wanting
invented.
to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she
That's
accused?
what
Has she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house
I'm asking you the question.
correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've
She's
allowed you into my
deflecting.
house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The
and
BBC did not invent.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything.
Where's the
She's not filed criminal charges.
Where's the
against-
receipts, man?
What are we talking about here? What is she
Talking
saying?
about emotional manipulation
Has she-
into the sex industry for your financial gain.
She went back to emotional manipulation. This Sophie, I think I saw BBC showed something like that. They showed like this little interview. I think that's the Sophie that she's referring to, and it's this woman talking about how he apparently used emotional manipulation, and but she hasn't what do you call it? She hasn't pressed any charges. She hasn't come forward. She hasn't said anything, and I actually believe what he said. They just got someone to act it out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and to make him look bad.
They made it up.
They made it up. Yeah. They made it up. How come they're bringing up emotional manipulation again? That is,
Like, there's no grounds,
bro. That's so
no
scary
solid-
because I'm picturing what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing women using that.
Yeah.
To attack men.
Yeah.
And the fact that she keeps pushing that narrative.
Emotional manipulation.
Emotional manipulation. It's becoming a thing now. And that's that's the charges that he's basically. It's basically you get a girl to fall in love with you so that you can take advantage of them. That's what they basically.
Is that illegal?
Yeah, that's
No. But that presupposes that this woman is not able to think for herself. She's almost like a robot.
She's not accountable.
Like, she's not accountable for anything she does,
actions.
for her own actions. She's just, to me, that's insane to say.
It's
It's
scary.
basically, it's insane to say that, because all she has to do is say that, yes, this person emotionally manipulated me, as if she's not capable of personal agency. She's not a human being capable of personal thought.
Yeah.
Do you know
That
what?
is scary.
If you apply this to other parts of society, say I'm a 16-year-old kid and I go into a school and I just shoot everyone. I go to court and I just be like, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I was manipulated by this Call of Duty game that I play every day, and all I do is go around and shoot people there. I didn't know. I went into the school. I was just doing what the game does.
Yeah.
I was controlled by the game,
And
or by
people
the
have tried
movie.
that.
I saw a movie and someone shot someone. I
People
thought I
have
can
tried
do that.
Or the music.
With the music, that's another one.
Yeah.
And this is so
You
funny.
still get held accountable though.
Yeah, you still get held accountable. But the most annoying thing about this is how they're doing this to a good man.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal. This person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past, to file criminal charges against me. I will fight them. I know who I am. I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court at the end of this trial.
Please?
We'll see which women go.
Can
to
I
court.
finish, please?
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie
trafficking.
hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
And I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
They're not my words.
Coercion.
They're words you
emotional
found.
manipulation.
They're words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's move on to the
website,
next subject.
In your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think that's
Again, she should be prepared to supply the receipts. If she wants to carry on the direction of the conversation, that's the time she supplies the receipts, and she didn't.
Bro, she ain't
Therefore, she needs to listen to Andrew and move on. If
she
she's
ain't
not
there to
prepared.
supply no receipts, man.
Exactly. It's just
not the agenda, bro.
It's like she's there to be emotional.
The
right?
agenda is to
show-
frustrate him until he loses his cool, and build a narrative for the audience.
Yeah, this is so unprofessional.
Oh, by the way, BBC put the video down. They took the video down
Yeah,
Yeah. They
good.
took the video
because
down.
of how she looked.
Good. She went there with no grounds, with no nothing.
And apparently they first put it out, the video,
Okay.
BBC, and it was so edited that they had to put the video down
Wow.
because he after that released his,
Wow.
and then
So they got caught out.
someone actually found it, and he did a comparison
Wow.
of how much the BBC has edited, and you will see the real. You'll understand like how deep this really is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'll understand
manipulation, man.
what manipulation really looks like, and you will see the agenda that they really put. It's an agenda that they pushing out.
Wow, they got caught red-handed.
Yeah,
BBC.
that's why they took it down completely. Because because he recorded his own and he put it right after that.
Tut.
Yeah, that's why the audio is a bit distant here. You obviously got the BBC, got
Oh, the
their good
BBC one
mics.
was-
Got their
the
mics.
BBC ones are
production.
proper.
Yeah.
Proper.
it. So there's
Jeez,
other
yeah,
places
piss
in that
me
same
off.
website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
what you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the
It's a joke.
internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be.
Your
put in jail.
website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken
Where's the
down.
receipts,
no
man?
website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me. I'm guessing. What you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain,
No, absolutely not.
and I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the legacy media having to say not guilty and having to tell the truth. As I've said before, the only
hope
other
they
person who's been
apologise if he's found not guilty.
Absolute
Hell no.
rigorous, destructive levels of investigation and prodding into my life is this imaginary Sophie by the BBC who doesn't exist. And if you were to find any single other man on earth and try and analyze his life forensically to the level they've done mine, you would find genuine damage to people. I don't hurt people.
It's not
Salute.
just
Thousands of women have come out in my
allegations.
defense. Thousands of women have come out in my defense, and you've not mentioned that. Thousands of women come out in my defense.
Because
He's got his receipts.
when women
Exactly.
accuse you
I wonder
of
why.
serious crimes.
Okay,
And emotional
but let's
manipulation.
agree that
That's
thousands
the
of women.
problem.
Let's agree that
It's not the
thousands.
problem that some people say you haven't done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense, and as we stand right now, we have an open criminal investigation. The people who are involved in the criminal investigation are saying that we're not victims of anything. Andrew's fine, he's never hurt us. You're saying, no, I have the opposite to that. I have to counter that. I have someone called Sophie with no face, a fake name, who we've invented, and
What a
she's not
joke.
accusing you of anything criminal. So I don't see the whole point
You
you're trying to
say
make
you
here.
manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here. Do you think I'm manipulating you?
I'm asking you about the testimony you've given on your website and the testimony women have given
You've
about
printed
it.
something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that makes me a bad person. I'm saying that you should know better as a journalist.
that the source,
Do some
yeah?
proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that
I
thousands...
think you should answer my questions
I am.
properly.
I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start an argument.
It's not only about the criminal
Frustration
allegations.
is the
It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children.
This is how powerful feminism is. This is how powerful feminism is. Look what just happened. He said there's thousands of people. They cited one person.
Yeah.
It's Sophie. Just by doing the maths.
Yeah.
Just do the maths.
Statistically.
If you've got thousands of people and every single one are saying, he's fine, he's never, we all right, we've never been emotionally manipulated. But their entire defense is this one person. Think about that for 1 second. Logically, one would say, well, this one person must be lying then. If there's thousands of people that claim that he's never done anything wrong, then there's something wrong with this one person over here. She's a problem. But she's not trying to listen to that.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. And then she said, rape organizations, the police, they're citing this guy. This is how powerful feminism is.
Yeah, they got influence in the government, police.
Because they want to promote the women as... This is where the whole Me Too movement, believe women, believe all women, and all that. This is what it's materializing into, and now it's gotten to the point where now a woman can just claim anything, can say anything. Oh, he emotionally manipulated me, or he emotionally did this and did that to me. This is going to be soon. A lot of it's going to be some. Men are going to be. We are going to become like. They're going to start attacking us based on these accusations. They're going to start saying, yo, you emotionally manipulated her because now she remembers. You see, now she remembers. Now she remembers that she was a victim.
Yeah.
She's been, this is what she's been saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been saying that now she remembers. What did you say before that? She said something about it's usual for people in this case not to think of themselves as victims right now, and so on. Basically implying that later on they can remember and then that they were victims, and then they can come up and then I was actually emotionally manipulated. I didn't realize that I was, and you're gonna be held accountable. But it's something that can't be proven. It's basically comes down to believe all women. It comes down to that because it can't be proven. It's scary where we're headed.
Yeah. I still like to see the receipts of the Sophie existing. Because she doesn't... Andrew's saying... He's outright saying she doesn't exist. And they're lying.
No, they did an interview with a woman and they didn't show her face. And that's the Sophie that she's talking about.
I don't think she exists. If there was an interview, it would probably be an actor.
Exactly.
No, it was an actor. Make sure. That's why he said, as if BBC never lied before.
Yeah.
Like... Really?
Their whole business model is profiting off lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on you, BBC.
And on women in the UK and elsewhere, because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post, especially by the legacy media, 95% of the population agree with me. Most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody believes it.
Yep.
And it's a shame, it's a massive shame that the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person.
I'm
anti-drugs, so I've never pushed drugs or any... I'm anti-drugs, I'm anti-violence. The UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
You have said you're the most dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
You've also said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male.
He reminds me of my son when he does that. You know, catch me out. He's like, oh.
What are you talking about?
I find it funny that you're sitting here saying that I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world, and you believe that's. When did I say that?
I'm asking if you believe it.
No, you said you're the most dangerous man in the world. Is that some kind of proof that I'm dangerous? Am I Dr. Evil now? I'm telling you that it's very upsetting that you're going to sit here and that certain organizations in the world are going to try and pretend that I'm the biggest force in the world when I'm genuinely a force for good. I'm genuinely a force for good. And the reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth, and they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and
they want to feminize men
as guilty.
You've said women's intimate parts belong to their male partner.
I said that.
See how she changed
the
the direction of the conversation there.
Yeah.
Every time she's losing,
she deflects.
She goes into the next thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And what she's actually doing right now is taking, like it's like someone watching all the podcasts I've done, right? And they're just taking anything I've said, anything, regardless if it's a joke, regardless if like she'll just she'll take it literally, you know what I mean, and use that as some kind of accusation against your character. You see what I'm saying? Like
the world we're living in, man.
That's actually crazy,
scary.
I'm the most dangerous man in the world. Now no man can walk around and say I'm the most dangerous, even if you're joking. Don't say it. Because guess what? One day, because it's been caught on video, one day it will be used against you. That means you know, it's like when they want to put you down, they'll use anything you've said in the past and they'll use that against you.
Yeah, these people make life boring, man. Soon we won't even be able to breathe. Like, it's going to be offensive to breathe.
It will be.
It will be, bro.
He takes his last name and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing traditional religious beliefs because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs in regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory. If you're going to sit here and say that me believing a woman should take a man's last name in marriage makes me the most dangerous man in the world, then you're just going to lose even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point, if that's your narrative you want to push,
say that
good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside marriage. That doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it. And then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. And we also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discussed unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men, and what are the reasons and motivations for women?
Because
you have no time to actually, watch my content. Because you have no time to actually watch my content at length and understand what I'm saying. You just come here with a small snippet, which has been provided to you on a piece of paper.
Saying it 3 times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a clue what I say or what I talk about. You never watch my content. You have small pieces of paper, small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said that, not me.
Okay. Do you believe I'm the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well, then we need to change
That's Rolo again. That's Rolo.
I'll make this clear. I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority.
You had to put in a
We are
place.
equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal. And if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo and that you don't have to answer my questions is disingenuous. Because I don't owe you anything.
Journalism. It's the new journalism.
But I don't owe, no,
Trust me,
this
she
is a
is the
conversation,
Gestapo.
and I don't owe
Trust
you
me.
any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor. But you come here with loaded questions. You're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you
And
about
that's
things
fine.
you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine.
You
But
have
you're not going to
said
sit here and say you
woman's-
don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
This is also not supposed to be a third degree, it's supposed to be a conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
You have said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner, and if she goes on OnlyFans, he is entitled to a cut of her income.
You are extremely, it's very confusing to me why you're
Very
going to sit
annoying.
here, take long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where I've sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where we've been joking back and forth, ignore every comment and satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females have made, and then come along and say, you said this and that, and you're the most evil man in the world. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm
Did you
is.
say it?
I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what context is. I don't know if you understand what satirical comments are.
So you're saying it was sarcastic?
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show. And for you to sit here and say that that is my true core beliefs and that makes me a bad person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic
You should-
when you said. Let me
you
just
should-
clarify.
you should
okay?
watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have, because the woman was saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed,
Believe it.
she laughed, and she said, ha ha ha, yeah, that's probably true. If you watch the show, it will make sense. For you to come here doing no research at all, and then say, I don't understand what I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few things printed off, that's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show, do some research.
Do you believe it?
You already answered.
I've already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have. Can we move on? I've answered the question.
Do you believe that?
She's looking for a gotcha moment.
Yeah. She can run away
a
and
got
tell
you
BBC.
moment. That's what she's looking for, and she's trying to frustrate him enough. Hopefully he will give in
for him to lose his cool.
He loses cool, and then he just says, "Yes, I do believe in it."
Yeah.
And that's it. All he has to do is say that for her to win.
Yeah.
That's it. And I bet you any money if he says that, then guess what? That's the cue. That's the cue right there for the BBC to make. That's the narrative.
Yeah.
That's what they would have been clipping and pushing everywhere
Yeah.
in the media. That's what she's really looking for. That's why she's ignoring the context.
Yeah.
She's ignoring literally everything that he's saying.
Yeah.
Now you just proved her wrong. No, that's not the context of the entire conversation that was being, that we were having.
Yeah.
And he's trying to explain that, but she doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about that. She doesn't. None of that.
She don't care about the truth.
She only cares about frustrating him or getting to that got you moment, so that they can clip it and they can push the narrative that he is who they say, you know what I mean?
The toxic,
who they want
toxic
him to
masculine.
Toxic
They want to
masculinity.
see toxic masculine Andrew. So they can say
yeah.
this guy is toxic masculinity, but he's just outperforming them.
That's
what her whole job is basically about for this visit.
It's feminism.
Yeah.
This is a feminist interviewing him and trying to take him down by getting to that got you moment. Do you see what I'm saying? And they use tactics like frustrating the hell out of him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Trigger him.
Trying to trigger him, trying to get on his nerves, which anyone would be in their right mind to say, yo, you're starting to get on my nerves. You see what I'm saying? He had to stop himself from saying you're really annoying. Like he had to stop himself because I knew that's what was coming. There was no you're confusing. No, he didn't mean to say that. He meant to say he really wanted to say you're really annoying, man. You know what I mean? But he knew. But if he said that, it would come out as he's being angry, he's being whatever. Toxic masculinity, which is a feminist concept. You see what I'm saying? Which doesn't exist. A feminist concept that doesn't exist. That's why. But do you believe it? Do you believe it though? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? It's like, yo, chill, relax.
Calm down.
It? No, I don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
And he actually said it. He don't believe in it. But this is an L for feminism. You lot lost this battle today. But you're still winning the war, so there's still lots of work to go.
Let's go. It's not even that long.
His intimate parts belong to her male partner.
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
You just answered that. You said exactly that.
We've done that 3 times.
And does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's not a gendered argument. I really think that it's genuinely sad that when the BBC has a chance to finally interview me at the end of all this matrix, that they don't come here with any kind of genuine openness to try and understand my influence over the world, or the things I push, or what I'm trying to teach the world, or why I'm a good influence on the world, because I am a massively good influence. Instead, they come here with pieces of paper with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts, taken out of context, to attempt the same matrix attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in legacy media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you to read the comment section on YouTube when this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying.
The
This is
reason we're
garbage.
asking you
We don't
about
believe
these
you.
comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis, naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
absolute
this.
garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed.
If that was
by
true,
pupils,
if that,
because of you and your teaching,
well, that's
and your influence.
That's absolute garbage. I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against. I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago, is disingenuous.
It's ridiculous.
You
And
also financial success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Yes,
Because
trying to paint a
it's all
picture.
mixed together in what you teach. You teach that a woman, if a woman comes home and accuses you of cheating, you should hit her with a machete, shove her up.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
No, if you actually watch the clip, it will be about the woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. But if I were to take everything you've ever said online and just take small excerpts out of context, I could make you look like a misogynist. I guarantee it. In fact, I might actually do that. And then you're going to sit here and say, oh, shit, I'm going to do it. You should do it, my clips have been taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it, then that's what's going to happen.
The National Police Chiefs League for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being
We have
behind
to
an
make a point
epidemic.
on this because this is crazy. The National Police or what? The chief, this,
the chief,
the big guns, the big boys,
rape victim society and all that.
So the problem is not what gets promoted in society, which is sexual degeneracy. That's not the problem. Yeah, that's not what's increasing. That's not what's causing men to, for example, grape. Right? That's not the problem. The degeneracy, the music, the degeneracy in music,
the whole culture,
the
environment,
the hookup culture, the degeneracy that we consistently are bombarded with. Minute after minute on social media. That's the siege. The access to porn. To code, right? The things that get promoted in music and what is, to so-called that's not none of that. The violent movies.
The violent movies. Kobe said it. It's the whole culture. It's everywhere. Everything.
So you're telling me that's not what's causing these problems?
It's Andrew Tate.
It's Andrew Tate, and the comment that
smoking a cigar
and driving an expensive car. It's Andrew Tate. So do you see it's like, people. Yo,
we need to get
lunacy.
How did Andrew Tate become so fake? You see, you have to ask that question. It's like you're blaming it all on this person.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Over one comment in the comments, they take all the comments out of context.
Yeah.
They
and ignoring all the corporations financing all of this behavior.
Yeah, but the thing is,
financing the music, financing the.
But they deliberately taking it out of context. She just gave a stupid story, right? As a journalist, you should have known. Like as a journalist, you should have known
that's an old one.
No, the machete.
Yeah, that's an old one.
The machete one, the machete one, right? That he's basically a woman attacking.
Yeah,
like a common person, I'll forgive you for not knowing.
Yeah,
but as a journalist, for you to make that mistake BBC, as a journalist, a journalist from the BBC, out of all places,
this is not good.
For her to make that mistake, it shows to me that they want a narrative to be portrayed. They're trying to portray a narrative. That's what they are trying to do.
Well, I think what's happened is that so many people still already believe all this rubbish. That they're just trying to reinforce it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to reinforce it now.
They're just
That's all
reinforcing
is,
it. So if she ignores his answers,
Yeah.
she thinks it's going to go away. But he's debunked this stuff loads of times. I've heard it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for her to keep pushing with the same, it's like what?
Ignoring the answers.
It's almost like what you came here for what? You don't do no investigation, no nothing. What kind of journalism is that? It's like
Crazy.
that's what that's what I believe. She's just trying to frustrate him until he loses his cool, so that he can say something that they can then clip it and call it misogynistic, or whatever,
and demonize him
because BBC is the most powerful media outlet out there. Say especially here in UK, and whatever they clip, that's what most people are going to see. Most people are not going to see.
What they see, they believe.
Exactly, and what they see, they'll believe. So he could record all he wants, but he's still not going to have the reach that BBC would have. And that's why they want that got you moment. So they can just spin it.
Jeez.
They can
This is embarrassing.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic because I own a nice car. Is that your argument?
It's the misogyny that comes along with it.
Oh, owning a nice car is misogynist.
No, it's the
Got
misogyny that comes along with it.
How does misogyny come along with owning a nice car?
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're answering my
success.
questions now. We finally got the dynamic.
You have an image of financial
She's answering my
success.
questions, actually.
Excuse me.
He's in
You
control.
have an image of financial success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online. You never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to. I take care of her. I die to protect a woman. I've talked about how I've stood up and faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for. And
in return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
if you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning, and let me explain my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk home. I'm the one who decides the route we take. Because it's unfair for her to say, I want to walk in the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said. And then you're going to sit here and pretend I'm trying to treat women like dogs, which is garbage. Every single man in the world who loves this woman understands that he has to protect her. And every single woman in the world likes the idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now,
not sure
do you want
about
your husband
women,
to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is
If you said
misogynistic.
to most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and legal equal to your
I didn't say that. I said I need to have authority over the route we walk home.
When you compare women and the authority over women that you believe you should have to having authority over a child or a dog, it's not the same. Because the
Where
woman
does
is a
child and
free,
dog come from?
legal
They just
adult.
make stuff
Correct.
up.
You're equal.
Free
Trying to
legal
make it
adult.
darker.
If I had a girlfriend and we were walking home late at night, and I said, let's not walk down that area, it's a bad area, I have to protect you if anything happens, I want to take the long way. And she said, no, I have to walk this way, even though it's the most dangerous route, I must.
Then what?
And then I would say, you're welcome to, you could do it.
You're single now.
Equal, but I'm not going to walk with you and protect you. I think that I should be able to decide the route. Because I have an obligation. And my obligation as a man is to protect and provide for females. Everything I'm talking about is traditional gender roles, which 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered outlandish, would not be considered crazy, would not be considered dangerous or misogynistic. The world has changed, and a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write on the comments that Andrew isn't saying anything that's outlandish.
It was for a woman to see her. It was back to change the camera. These are the traditional values that values of me.
It's the whole world believes these things.
I wonder what is being said here. Like with the reporter and this lady. I wonder what's being said.
They're telling her off.
They must have said.
Telling her off.
Yeah.
So you know feminism is evil, bro.
I'm having a nice conversation with Lucy. I'm enjoying it.
She's
It's been fun so far.
He is enjoying. This is it. That's what I'm saying. This is easy for him. It's like another day at the office.
Yeah. Because he knows he's catching them red-handed.
She's frustrated. She looks like she's about to lose her job if she doesn't get that goody moment.
Tell me when.
Pressure.
I can do the clap. Now we good?
No.
Thank you. If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're talking about protection now, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're demanding in return for that.
Well, I'll give you this. I don't know who your husband is. I don't know if he would
obedience. That's what I demand in
I'll
return.
give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face them while you and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe the men should go and engage the attacker. I believe that. And even though I don't know you, and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda, and you've come here to try and make me look bad, I would still stand up to protect you.
That's
I would
the
still stand up to protect you because I
Christian
believe that's my
way.
role as a man.
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I say.
It's not
By
about whether
name.
you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that
He spoke
you
the
don't
truth.
really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
That's not true.
making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place.
Taking it too far
I
now,
genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all
He's
the drill
right.
artists do.
Or you
Drill
can make
music,
controversial
yeah.
statements
Evil.
online that
Where's the
attract
smoke
lots
for
of
them?
followers who you then direct to your website
I could
where
make-
they pay
I could make
to
jokes.
learn how to be
Sure.
like you.
I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a
Are
joke
you
online.
saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you
And the
money.
reason
I'm sorry, we have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions.
sorry.
And so far, I'm sorry, I have arranged this and I'm talking right now. So, these are very loaded questions, and this is not what
They're
we
loaded
discussed.
questions.
This is not the
Look
conversation
how
that
guilty
we-
she
We were
looks.
very clear that the questions
you're
are
sitting there
our...
and just accusing, we're not here to face new allegations, this has all been discussed, answers have been provided, so if we could please move on from this side of the interview, I would appreciate it.
I would
Turn
like
it
to
off.
hear what Andrew has got to say about the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you, and then you direct them to your website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more money you get.
the fact that that's the path you've outlined to one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet, the fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research.
Isn't it true?
Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How
And I-
many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my
Could you
videos,
answer my
of
question?
course, watch my videos at length, and truly understand what I'm doing.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University at $49.99 a month come to you because they see your social media comments?
There's an online school.
You mentioned the amount.
What's that got to do with anything?
Which I don't own. I influence for, along with many other influencers, and they sign up for your website, which I don't own. And once
You
again,
direct
that's
them
once
to
again,
Hustlers University.
once again, that's nothing to do with me. And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke.
You were the
I made a joke
Loads of
online
people make
4
money
years
online.
ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have a Bugatti, are the most misogynist, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not true. None of this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't harm people. I'm genuinely a positive
You are
influence.
renowned
I'm renowned.
for offensive and controversial
That's not why I'm renowned.
comments
I'm
about
actually
the
renowned.
information.
I'm actually renowned for helping young men, because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we talk about we pretend to care that men are upset. But as soon as I discuss men's issues, it's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gendered. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact, I believe it's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence, and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world, and he's
Agreed.
positive for the women around him. Just
why
because
are
I
so
discuss
many
men's
women-
issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why are so many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
They're not.
they experience more control?
So many.
They experience
How many?
more abuse.
How many?
More abuse.
Enough.
enough.
See, that's what
Well,
Elon
that's
Musk
the first time I've
did
heard of it.
to
So,
the
Pause,
in fact,
pause,
One is
pause,
too
pause.
and he
many.
said how many, and they can't answer the direct question because they're just
She
waffling.
said,
Yeah.
how come loads of women are reporting that when their boyfriends listen to you, they experience more control and experience more abuse. Feminists love using that term, that word, abuse. That's
Yeah,
like like their little, you know what I mean? Their go-to. What is she talking about?
Yeah.
What is she? She's basically saying. So he also, who are these? You know, you're saying loads of women. Okay, where's the data for that?
Where's the receipts?
Where's the receipts for that?
There is none.
It's all accusations. She's all out of thin air,
Yeah. Yeah.
designed to just frustrate the hell out of him, so that
Yeah.
you know it's crazy.
He's asking the right questions to her, and
Yeah.
She can't back it.
Yeah, she can't back it.
because she's just throwing up, just trying to accuse him of anything,
Yeah.
hoping that he'll lose his temper.
Yeah.
And then she gets her that got you moment.
Yeah,
And that's it, done.
Yeah, and unload on him.
That's all she. So people that listen to her go home and abuse their wives. That's the narrative that she's trying to paint now. But there's no data on these people. It's
not.
just.
In fact, all the data out there is opposite to that.
Yeah.
I never felt
Get
that. When I've listened to Andrew Tate, I never felt like, now I need to go home and start.
Arguing.
in fact, I've start abusing my women. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
When I listen to Andrew Tate, I think, I need to do better, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
That's it.
I
I need to
need
improve
to
myself.
work
Yeah.
hard. I need to
Yeah,
prove
hit the
myself.
gym.
I need to lose
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
I need to. That's what I think.
Yeah.
When
Being a wimp.
Me too.
Yeah, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and help out my family more. You know what I mean, like
be more responsible.
Be more responsible. That's what I think of when I listen to Andrew Tate. That's what goes through my mind. Abusing my woman is the last thing that goes through my mind. How can you be a protector and provider if you want to abuse your woman? Like that doesn't even come with the integrity of a protector and a provider.
Yeah.
That the integrity of a protector or a provider is someone who is you want to help your family. You want your family to do better. That's the integrity that comes with being a protector and a provider. Not I'm gonna abuse my woman now.
Yeah.
Because I'm a protector and a provider. Because that's what she's been. These people are evil, man.
They're evil.
they're crazy.
Evil. They got caught, exposed.
In fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't
the
it
fact
worry you?
praising the fact
Doesn't
that
it
their
wish she
son-
just ignored everything you
praising
said?
the fact that their
Things
husband-
I'm saying. doesn't it worry you?
It would worry. It would
You're
worry.
not concerned about
it.
your influence.
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her
Sophie.
husband is
I
not the
have
same man she wants him to
presented
be. When thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I
that that's.
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda. You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand are satirical. And then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain
No,
the comments
that-
you
no,
make.
for you to sit down
Would you
and
like
sit-
to apologise for any of them?
for you to sit down.
She's got some listening
It's fine, no, it's
issues.
fine.
She's got
For
some
you to
listening
sit down and
issues.
say that one woman
All
said
feminists
that
do.
her boyfriend watched an
Bro.
Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes or whatever your argument is, and that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car.
Just trying to get him
It's
to
just
apologize.
disingenuous, and I'm enjoying this interview very much because this
He
shows,
just needs that one win.
It shows the
That
world.
one win.
It's great. It shows the world the truth about the legacy media because they beg me for interviews. They beg me. You have been begging me for months. Please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this, but you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask me to answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work.
Correct.
on your social
There's
media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting online.
There seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children, men, male children, and female children in Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq. I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children, and I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment.
Because some people look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble, and so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect, and I have proof that I've always done the charity work, so you're wrong, firstly. I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you cannot find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it. And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous.
Just to
the
finish.
person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to sit here and say that I'm a bad person now because I'm manipulating charity, because I'm using charity, I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been
She
trying.
tried everything.
When women speak out
She even
against
tried to
you
get him to
online, disagree with
apologise,
what
and
you
she's-
say,
Now
they
she's using the
describe
charity
being
angle.
bombarded with rape threats, with death threats,
This
trolling
woman is sick.
by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about
Sure.
how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any. Although only women who message me agree with me. Secondly, I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the ideas should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me, or a female. I don't think my followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you were to log into any video game lobby, I don't play
Good
video games,
reply.
and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole. That's nothing to do with me.
She ain't trying to
But
listen to that.
I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Okay.
Kathy, anything?
A couple of things. I wonder if it would be worth giving Andrew one more opportunity
She's
to
angry.
consider whether or not he
I think
would
it's
like
only
to
like 4 more minutes,
apologise
3 more
or
minutes. Mission failed. I'm gonna get fired after this.
Okay.
Good example.
So, just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than
Exactly.
old
That-
BBC?
she's not there
Do you
for
think that
the
would be
truth.
interesting?
They're not
You're
interested
here
in
under
that.
house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
The rape allegation is
It's been dropped.
has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation. But then I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, we could talk about the fact that an innocent man who is yet to be
She doesn't
charged with
care
a crime
about journalism.
has had his liberty deprived of him.
Or
And I think that would be a
investigations.
far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most
The
famous man.
feminist
of all time.
agenda, isn't it? That's what she's there for.
And this question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yeah.
Boys in primary school or, boys as young as 11 are quoting you at school,
Yeah.
attacking girls, refusing to respect
Attacking
female
girls.
teachers.
What
Would
boy's
you like to
attacking a
say
girl?
it?
Because
Exactly.
I'd like to say a lot.
See the
First
picture
things
she's
first,
painting,
as I've
like-
repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this interview will be edited. I am a
Yes,
positive force
please.
to the world, and I
I have to say, like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go.
But I have to say, like, see when you make that point about men were, when feminists say they were abused back in the day by their husbands,
Yeah.
I feel like they're taking a book out of this lady's, what she's saying with the fabrication of reality, like just just alluding that boys are in school just beating up girls because of Andrew Tate.
Because of Andrew Tate.
Like, it's like, where the hell are you getting this?
It's the same thing that I told you. This idea that men in the past were just out here beating up women. It's the same. You see the same tactic? It's the same tactic that they use the same tactic. They got entire generations of women to believe, the new generation of women to believe that men, the patriarchy, had the time to be at home beating the ish out of their own.
They try to use that.
She's been using that all throughout. That's it's feminist propaganda. It's a feminist tactic in order to demonize masculinity. In order to and that what that does by demonizing masculinity, you feminize men, which is the entire purpose, the entire agenda. You know what I mean?
We just witnessed it,
which leads to self-destruction, because what you're doing is you're changing the natural order of things, and you when you change the natural order of things, you create chaos, and then when you create chaos, then you can dictate what the new order will be.
For the new order.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And that's exactly what they do. That's why they destroying everything.
It's extremely annoying, especially as when the opposite is true.
Yeah.
I think 99.9% of men make it safe out there for women to walk around.
Yeah.
That's all men have been doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And shine a light on the small that aren't.
Bro, I'm a man, and I know if anyone attacked my family, I would literally die for them.
But it's not even that. Say that you saw a woman walking by herself down the street getting hassled by another man, you would probably be like, "Oi, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I think most men would.
Yeah.
They've done social experiments on this, where they had a woman attacking a man. So they had two actors, and they went outside. They went outside. They've done social experiments on this, where they had a woman and a man. Both they were pretending they were both actors, pretending they were boyfriend girlfriend. And then they walk into a social setting where there's loads of people, and then the woman starts having an argument with the guy. And she starts slapping him and all of that. No one. They just looking. No one goes to the man's defense. And then they had the situation where the man is getting aggressive with the woman, and immediately 4 or 5 guys. What are you doing? And these 4 or 5 guys are ready to beat the living. And these are the patriarchy that hate women, apparently. That's the same narrative that she's pushing. That's a feminist propaganda agenda. That's all it is.
It's the opposite. They really got that wrong. And just one more thing about this. Something that's really annoying is that a lot of women actually think like her about Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
I'm having, there's women in my own family that think exactly of Andrew Tate what she thinks of Andrew Tate.
But you see, that appeals to a female psychology, and I hate saying it like that, but actually it can go for both genders, but it's more for the females. The idea of being a victim when you're not really a real victim is very attractive. It's very attractive. Why? Because you get sympathy. You get people that come to your aid. You get attention, and we know that women love attention more than men do.
You get leverage.
Exactly. So it appeals more to women. You know, this idea of, I'm a victim. Because you have to ask the question: why are so many women latching to this idea? It's like they've never experienced this patriarchy beating up on them, and they've never experienced any of that, right? They living in the safer society, but they still act as if they are victims of this of what's happened in the past, and none of it happened in the past, and it's all through propaganda. But it's more women that latch on to that. I see more women latching onto this victim mind state. This I'm a victim. You know what I mean? But I can understand how attractive that is, because guess what? You get attention from it. You get people that will come in and and cuddle you and try to and you feel like I went through something, even though you haven't gone through nothing.
And then in effect, it just builds up that ego. It
validates your narcissism. Do you see what I'm saying? And you haven't even gone through anything at all. It's just feminism told me this, so I must,
Sounds like toxic feminism to me.
Nah,
personally.
there's nothing about feminism that isn't toxic. Everything about feminism is, and I hate the word toxic as well. But I told you, Kobe, man,
I'm using it against them.
I told you, Kobe, I'm always right, bro.
I'm always right.
I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age, and a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views.
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make.
Like what?
Like
It's
the OnlyFans.
looking for the got you moment.
One you mentioned.
Like what?
Yeah.
Repeat. She said, "My man's car is my car." And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, "What do you sell on OnlyFans?" She said, "My tits." And I said, "Well, those are your man's tits." As a joke. Ha ha ha. Everybody's laughing. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago.
He's like, say it, please say it.
Now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I will be
got
more careful
stressed
with
that
some
as
things
well.
I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm people.
Do you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
So I'm done. She is upset.
She lost.
She had nothing. She got
Thanks
nothing.
It was enjoyable. Nice to meet you.
She got nothing.
She is not happy. Look at
No, it
her
was fun. It was
face.
good. I enjoyed it.
I wish he tried to.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
To see if she would have done it.
I wanted. Of course, she wasn't. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, sore loser, isn't it?
But he should have done it. He should have just tried to do that just to see.
If she would,
Like, should have just. Oh no.
yeah.
Oh, is it?
Well done, well done.
Goodbye.
Yes. Yes.
Very polite staff.
Fight back.
He's just trolling them now.
Yeah,
You know, all those guys in there like Andrew Tate.
yeah.
Look at the BBC crew. They're just
Yeah.
like,
So of all them people there, all represent the BBC, and they didn't put out the interview because they edited it
There you have it.
biasly.
Yeah. There you go. There you have it. Feminist agenda.
Jeez.
that's it. Easy. Another day at the office for Andrew Tate. Very easy interview for him to for him to get through all old points. Especially as an Andrew Tate fan, it's just so. It's like, God, come up with something new, but they can't because they've made up all these old points. They've got all the people, mainly women in society, believing. Oh, actually, and a lot of men believing these points about Andrew Tate. So they're just trying to reaffirm everything,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, I think this was a great case study of feminist propaganda
Yes.
at work,
Yeah,
being
yeah,
caught red-handed. And I wish so many men will see this, so many women will see this as well, and hopefully they like see the light. But we'll see.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, you said it all, bro.
Yeah.
This is. If you want to know about feminism,
This is the
every
truth.
attack,
Yeah.
every deflection, this comes straight out of the feminist manifesto playbook, wherever you have, what have you. This is perfect. If you want to learn every feminist tactic or every tactic that feminists use in order to demonize masculinity, there you go. In order to make someone look like they are anti-women, there you go. Just watch this video and you'll see. What was one of the tactics that he's what was it? Misogynistic.
I like that. Bugatti with a cigar and a side order of misogyny.
Yeah. I forgot that part of the video, but there's loads.
But it also shows that how to combat feminism. You combat all these crazy agendas. You combat it with logic and reason.
And that's it. That's it. The abuse,
And receipts.
the abuse argument. She kept bringing up
the
abuse,
abuse,
right?
yeah.
She kept bringing up abuse. and like we discussed, right? You know what I mean? Like they use the whole idea because it fits with the idea that the patriarchy were abusive towards women. And
exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like everything that she said, that's what feminists usually say. And the funny thing is that that's what you hear out of the mouths of most women today when they speak. You literally hear what she's talking about. Do you see what I'm saying?
And it's like what you said. They just you just got to ask. Oh, like there were so many cases of abuse. How many cases? Or there was so much of this.
What's the source?
I was like, okay, well, what did actually happen? And they can't answer.
They can't answer
because they've made it up in the first place.
Exactly. And they get away with doing that.
They get away with doing that a lot. And most men are like, in their heads, they're thinking. They must,
because they know like they ain't done their homework. So they just accept, assuming they accept the bluff.
But the thing is, a lot of people just don't understand that feminism is a real agenda, and it's here to attack men and women. If most men knew, and were consciously aware of it, then they would know how to rebuttal all of the feminist talking points. But because feminism is not promoted in that way. You see what I'm saying? It's an indoctrination, but it's not promoted in the same way as you have a church where you go every Sunday. Blah, blah. It's not promoted subtle. Like that. It's subtle. It's subtle. It's under the radar, underground. But
there's no face.
There's no face to it. You know what I mean? It's not promoted as a real
dangerous.
That's dangerous. You know, but it's the laws are changing in its favor. They are. Everything's being influenced by everything.
The police, all those, all those institutions they mentioned of authority.
You see rape victim society.
You see it in movies. You see it everywhere, but it's not. They're not preaching it. Do you see what I'm saying? There's not someone at the altar preaching this and saying believe in this. So people are not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So people are being subconsciously indoctrinated. You know what I mean? And that's why they get away with asking questions and catching men off guard. And were they? And they're thinking about it. But if they were aware of it, if they were consciously aware that this is an evil agenda, set up to destroy the family, the marriage, and so on, they would be prepared, and they would be like, no. No, that's what happened. Patriarchy were not out here beating up women.
To the Black Lives Matter movement. That's what happened with the Black Lives Matter movement, where people were
pure evil.
Were supporting it, and then when they found out the true agenda to support LGBT, people stepped away. People stepped away from it.
Yeah, George Soros funded that.
Exactly, and then they got exposed anyway. But man, they're dirty, man.
This is why the Solution Podcast is a much needed, necessary part of society.
Absolutely,
guys.
I hope you guys enjoy this one. Join our Patreon.
Join our Patreon, bro. Support us, man. Support us, bro. We're doing this for you guys, man. I'm telling you, we're doing this for you guys. You know what I mean? And send us an email if you know what I mean, if you ever wanna engage with us. If you disagree with us or whatever, send us an email. Send us an email. But guys, man, we'll catch you next episode, man.
Salute.
Man. Take care.